Hello and welcome to my Engage presentation. My name is Nicole. This assessment is an individual presentation of a recorded Engage learning event founded in my own position Statement of Excellence in Humanities. I hope you enjoy my presentation. Reynolds describes the subject of history as the study of events in the past to the development of specific historical concepts and skills. In my presentation today, I'll be examining history and the link to the Aboriginal people. It is imperative to learn about history so that students are able to build an understanding about their past and make links to their future. It sparks curiosity and imaginative skills in students. It also gives them a sense of how the world has changed and encourages appreciation in everyday life. I'm going to do this through my Engage experience by exposing them to an Aboriginal elder. This will be able to give them an insight into how life was different when they were younger and how life has changed today. An Aboriginal elder is a person who has deep spirituality that inspires every part of their lives and teachings. They live their lives according to deeply ingrained principles and values. An Aboriginal elder will engage students in conversations about the way of life that they are exposed to and comparing it to the different ways students have grown up in today's society. Bond observes Aboriginal elders having traditionally been educators of their family and their clan's children in a culture that has existed for thousands of years. Elders are also the primary teachers, facilitators, guides and role models and care providers for all people in their community. Aboriginal elders are very powerful in their society, and to earn respect you have to have the ability to understand and have an appreciation for the Aboriginal culture. You can show your respect by listening deeply to what they have to say and ask questions during events or talks that they might have. With this experience, I'll get photos of the Aboriginal way of life back in the 1800s and encourage students to compare and discuss the differences between the Aboriginals and the current way of life now. Social Education Victoria describes methodology in the teaching of social education, which encourages questioning and identifying different aspects in the environment. The experience of comparing photos from the 1800s to now will help the students gain an understanding of how their worlds are different and how times have changed. These are the types of photos I will collect for students to compare differences from Aboriginals in the 1800s to the way they live their life today. Reynolds describes an inquiry question: who lived here first and how do we know? This question is something I'll be looking at today, where we'll be exposing the students to an Indigenous welcoming introduction and their respect for the community through a YouTube video.
Kai, Naranik, Jackie Worden. I am a Wondoon Wurundjeri woman and I stand here today on Wondoon Wurundjeri land. The boundaries of the Wondoon Wurundjeri people go east to Mount Baw Baw, west to Werribee River, north over the Great Dividing Range and south to the Mordialloc Creek. The Kulin Nation is made up of 5 Aboriginal groups in Victoria: the Wondoon Wurundjeri, Tanarong, Dja Dja Wurrung, Bunurong and Wathaurong. Altogether they make up the Kulin Nation, Kulin meaning man. When you enter our country, it is very important that you respect all our resources, our flora, fauna and water. They are very special to us, and when you are ready to leave, you should leave it how you have found it. Wuminjika, Wondoon Wurundjeri, Balak Yemen, Gundipik. You are now welcome to the lands of the Wurundjeri people, my great-grandfather and my grandfather's country.
This video video shows links to the VACC Level 3 Historical Knowledge, the significance of country and place to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples who belong to the local area. This video is given background into perimeters of the Wurundjeri country and how to best respect their way of life. For Indigenous Australians, the land is the core of all spirituality, and this relationship and the spirit of country is central to the issues that are important to Indigenous people today. By leaving the environment in the way you found it, it is deeply respectful to an Aboriginal person. This sign is found in the Northern Territory, where they observe the Aboriginal Land Act. It states that you are now on Aboriginal land. To enter Aboriginal land, you are required to be in possession of a written permit issued by the traditional Aboriginal owners, their delegate or Northern Land Council. Penalty for entering Aboriginal land without a permit is $1,000. Section 4 of the Aboriginal Land Act. Please present your permit on request. Before we go into our final activity, I'll have a look at some pictures that showcase the way that Aboriginals make damper. The process of making damper used to take Aboriginal people hours. Women and children used to spend most of the day collecting seeds and separating the husks to get good quality seeds for the damper. They would then grind the seeds on large stones. It would take about 2 hours to produce half a kilogram of flour. The men's job during this process would be travelling around to find slabs of rocks that would be suitable enough to grind seeds on. Some of these slabs often weighing 30 kilograms or more. Making bread for the whole clan would be an all-day process involving the whole family. I will show the children this photo, which will give them an insight into the traditional way in which damper was cooked by the Aboriginal people. This is the type of campfire I would set up for the students to experience, where we would sit in a circle around it and prepare our damper. As an activity, we will be making damper to further encourage the children in the Aboriginal culture and the way Aboriginals would prepare this type of meal. I will sit the students in a circle around the campfire where we will prepare the ingredients together. This pretend campfire would lead into discussions about safety around fires, making sure we stay well away from the flames in the bottom of the fires, and it could be very hot and could potentially burn us. The students would be exposed to the sense of community that goes into making this bread as they work together to prepare the damper. This is the recipe we will be following to prepare our damper. The links to Victorian curriculum based on this Engage activity for levels 3 and 4 are as follows. Geography. Identify and explain the interconnections within places and between places. The many countries and places of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples throughout Australia and the custodial responsibilities they have for country and place, and how this influences views about sustainability. Similarities and differences between places in terms of their type of settlement, demographic characteristics, and the lives of the people who live there. Intercultural capabilities. Compare their own and others' cultural practices, showing how these may influence the ways people relate to each other. Explain the roles of cultural traditions in the development of personal, group, and national identities. Civics and citizenship. Investigate why and how people participate within communities and cultural and social groups. History. The diversity and longevity of Australia's First Peoples and the significant ways Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples are connected to country and place and the effects on their daily lives. These are the references used in my Engage presentation. Thank you.